Hey everyone, as you requested, I will be reading to you from one of my books. I decided to go with my first one because most of you have already read, or not most of you, but a lot of you have already read Swift Shadows, my first book of Riders and Royals. But not many of you have read The Other Worlds, and so I don't even know if it's backwards on there. It might be backwards on there. But I'm gonna go ahead and read to you the very first chapter. I wrote this book 10 years ago. Actually, I started it more than 10 years ago, but I published it 10 years ago. You can tell it's my debut novel, but we're gonna go ahead and start it. All right. Chapter 1, Adrelian. That was my mother's name. Although I never knew her, she must have been great. She was born into an age when the other worlds were divided. Where there had once been peace and unity, the peoples of the other worlds were in 3 separate groups: Krails, Serds, and Eves. The Krails were physically half human and half animal. They possessed the ability of changing in and out of both their human and animal forms freely. The most prominent members were the Velvetors. At the time of my mother's birth, not much was known about the Krails. They generally kept to their towers and rituals, allies to none. Serds were the normal humans, the ungifted. They were the general population of the other worlds. Serds were subject to none unless their world had been claimed by the Kendron brothers. My mother's world had not been claimed. She was a Serdian heir, one of the last. After the death of her father, she became Queen of Caprith. She grew up knowing she was to protect and lead her world at any cost, and she was prepared to do so. She was not prepared, however, to meet my father and Eve. Now Eves were from the world of Evedon, yet they were not subject to live only there. Many worlds were known to have Evian blood. Also, just as with the Serds, there was an evil hand seeking conquest of the Evian worlds. Its name was the Vrenix. Its armies, known as the Nagrith, captured Evian worlds one by one and joined them to the Empire. In this age of warfare and broken allies, my mother was born and raised. When she took the throne at age 18, she thought she was ready for anything, yet anything did not include the Evian warrior and prince who suddenly appeared in her court. He said he was visiting to learn more of the Serds. It did not take long for my young mother to fall in love. She and her Eve were wed just prior to her 19th birthday. Their marriage was the first of its kind in generations, 2 royals from completely different backgrounds. It also created the strongest tie between the Serds and the Eves since before the fall of Balinor. Caprith soon became a world of both Serds and Eves, which in turn created a generation of Wends. I am a Wend, as is my twin. We are the children of both Serd and Eve, half-bloods. In the other worlds we were a rarity, but in Caprith we were many. We were an ancient breed, extinct after generations. With the uniting of Caprith and Evedon, though, we were renewed. Now one would naturally assume that a Wend would only be half as gifted as the Evian parent, as a Wend was only half Evian. However, a Wend was not only as gifted as the parent, a Wend was more so, far exceeding that of the parent and dangerous to have for an enemy. From the marriage of my parents, Caprith was transformed from a world of Serds to a world of Evian majority. The transition caused my parents to contemplate the destinies of their children. They sensed their children would have much to do with the future of the other worlds. They were right. Not long after my brother and I reached our first birthday, the Vrenix attacked Caprith. In an attempt to protect her children, my mother sent my brother and me into hiding. We were to become slaves in separate Kendron worlds, where we would not be found until the time we were to be set free and told of our true identity. Moments after our escape, Caprith fell to the Vrenix. My parents never saw us again. That was the whole first chapter. Now it's on chapter 2, but I'm not going to read that today. If you want more videos like this, let me know. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. Bye.